WYPA Up Radio with MC8. Steele and Big James has taken over the radio station.
Well, all right, y'all. All across the USC, Compton, Watts, Bay to LA. Pomona, California, from valley to valley, we represent that killer Cali. So if you keeping it real on your side of your town, you tune in to Gangster Chronicles.
Gangster Chronicles, we gon' tell you how it goes.
If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth.
Gangster Chronicles, this is not your average show.
You're now tuned into the real MC8, Big James, and Big Steele.
This is strictly from the streets.
Hello.
We represent the James.
We'd like to welcome everyone to another episode of the Gangster Chronicles podcast, and I'm with my homeboys, of course.
Big J.
Yeah. And you know, it's a lot of shit going on in the news, fellas. Alpo, who was known as Rico, portrayed as the character Rico in the movie with Camron and all them. What's the movie that Dame Dash produced on that thing?
Paid in Full.
Paid in Full. He was on Paid in Full. You know, that was the whole story about that. And apparently he was gunned down early Sunday morning in the drive-by. James, you said that wasn't a drive-by. He got shot.
That wasn't a drive-by. He got shot by someone in a car, intentionally.
Yeah, now, you know what my thing is? He was supposed to be under protective custody. He was supposed to be out of state, somewhere else. And he's been hanging out in Harlem for maybe the past 2 years, maybe the past 2 or 3 years since he got out, 8.
It's been about, they say he's been in witness protection, federal witness protection for about the last 6 years. So,
Is that a known fact, though?
Yeah,
I read about it earlier today. He was in federal witness protection.
And then he come back
And he got,
to the hood.
Right.
And then this happened.
The story I read is he was in his truck or something and in somewhere, you know.
Right.
And I guess
What city is this? New York?
It's Harlem, New York, yeah.
So some dudes pulled up on him, got to dumping. So they caught 2 in the arm, 1 in the chest, and grazed him, and 1 hit him on the chin. Say Popo pulled up and found him trying to catch his breath.
Gasping.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the thing with that dude is, man, you know, and that's for him and God to, that's for him to deal with God when he go to heaven. But not only did the cat, you know, telling a whole bunch of his co-defendants, he also murdered a whole bunch of people, murdered a whole bunch of dudes he grew up with, you know what I mean? He killed Rich Porter behind Rich Porter giving him the wrong, I guess, allegedly giving him the wrong dope prices. You know, he was selling them dope and stuff and said nigga was giving me the wrong prices and would never give me the connect, so he killed him.
Damn.
Killed his homeboy that he came up with, man. So, you know, I guess rest in peace, Alpo Martinez, you know. And then we got some other shit going on.
Now wait, let me ask this. So this man get killed, he come from witness protection and get killed, and then 69 or whatever his name is, he can hang out and do everything he want to do with no repercussions.
It seemed like that.
All right, let's move on
Seemed like
to the
that,
next
but
one.
I will have this to note as far as that go. All the shit Alpo did was probably about, like, what you think, maybe 30 years ago he did all this stuff? This was in the 80s that he committed all these crimes.
Yeah, I think so.
80s. So the motherfuckers might be just waiting for the right time to holler at, you know, 6ix9ine's ass too, because they waited 30 years to get Alpo's ass, you know? He might have his coming too.
Right.
You know, because he got a lot of, you know, 6ix9ine he's signed to a very powerful person in the music business. He's signed to Universal Music, I believe, and they got him with a bunch of protection around him, though, so you're not gonna be able to touch 6ix9ine. It sound good. That's why he talk all that shit.
Well, you know, if you, I ain't gonna promote that, but he's with around security guards, right? Bodyguards.
Yeah, he got bodyguards and police protection.
Okay.
James looking like that wouldn't stop me.
No, don't put me in that shit. But if you want him, you will get him. Everything you have to lay down if it was that serious. But Apparently not.
I really think, and that's like you make a point, James. I don't think people really tripping off of getting 6ix9ine. You know, it's a big difference between what 6ix9ine did and what Alpo did. You know what I mean?
What's the difference?
Alpo was a real gangster. You know what I mean? He was a real live gangster. 6ix9ine, I think some clowns got caught up in fucking with the wrong nigga. Shouldn't call them brothers clowns, but I don't think they could have foresaw happening what happened. You know, him just pretty much telling on the whole neighborhood.
Well, real gangsters get caught up too. So, like you saying, what this man doing in witness protection?
Yeah,
he a gangster.
He told. So yeah, like you said, James, you can't. I mean, I get it with the whatever the drama is about the rap thing, but. It's real niggas. It's supposedly real niggas from the streets who tell on motherfuckers all the time. You get me? That's the case of Alpo.
I mean, that's a known fact through history. Yeah. Through black gangs, white gangs, Puerto Rican gangs, everywhere.
What my man like what happened with Sammy, who was on our show?
Yeah,
right.
You do.
You get me? What did Sammy do?
So it's the same shit. It ain't no difference. They just identify the shit and the word fucked up today. But when you get a motherfucker and that motherfucker up there and he pointing you out, and then he go to witness protection, ain't no coming home. Ain't no you Willie Lunchmeat at this point. You somebody else. You got a different identity, you go live that life.
And then shit for the fact that he killed he killed Rich, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay.
Rich Porter, yep.
So you gotta understand the feelings of Rich's people for all these years who've been like, damn, and killed my peoples and then go into witness protection. So that's lifelong motherfucking get back ready to happen. You feel me? Because the word is, people were celebrating and shit too. Happy that
they got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the one thing about it though is Albert Martinez, Alpo wasn't no bitch. It was a lot of motherfuckers, they knew when they came at him, they had to come correct. So ain't no telling how long they had been telling him because he had knocked a whole bunch of people down. He didn't have no problem with putting his murder game down, and he wasn't no punk, he wasn't no sucker, you know what I mean?
And you got to think about it, man. To take one life or just to hurt one motherfucker, millions, 100 motherfuckers. You hurt that one, 100 motherfuckers feel it. I'm talking about family members, girlfriends, cousins, aunties, mamas, everybody feel it. And I said this many times. I didn't know that it just hit the circle, hit the family like that until it happened to me. Like really came close. Not just losing somebody that died, but losing somebody that got killed in your family that's close to you. Mm-hmm. And I still see my moms. When my brother, that took everything out of this lady. Yeah, everything.
Dude, and I don't think people think about that when they, in some cases, man, when you're in the streets, sometimes retribution has to be sought. You know what I mean? Sometimes certain shit just got to happen when you live in that lifestyle. But, I wish people would really think about the petty shit, the petty murders that happen in the hood behind somebody's girlfriend getting stuck, behind somebody having a perception that they being disrespected when it may not be the case. I wish brothers would learn to talk stuff out a little bit or think in detail. Is it really worth me going to go holler at this dude right now?
It's crazy that it happened because we don't think like what you saying until we sit in a jail cell. Until this public defender come up and tell us, until the detectives handcuff us and tell us, you're going to jail for murder. You're going to jail for attempted murder. And then now you're thinking about it. Because ain't none of us ready to go to jail. Ain't none of us ready to fight this 5-year, 4-year case. Mm-hmm. And you sitting in jail all this time. You know what I'm saying? So it's a process. So think about what you're doing. I think I posted this on my page, a picture of a gun. Think about what you're going to do with that gun before you do. Because it's going to the bathroom and sit in the bathroom for 23 hours. Don't come out that motherfucker. Now think about doing that for 30 years.
Yeah, some real shit. Now check this out now right here. They saying that dude was throwing drugs out of the truck window following the shooting. This is what they say. Details of Alberto Alpo Martinez's frantic final moments are coming into focus as the investigation continues into the drug kingpin's drive-by shooting death. The notorious drug dealer who was shot 5 times and killed early Sunday in Harlem was throwing baggies of drugs out of his truck's window as he tried to drive away from the scene, a police source said Monday. A police source. There's always the police sources around. About a dozen of the baggies were found on the street spaced a few feet apart near West 147th Street and Frederick Douglass Boulevard after Martinez was shot in his 2017 Dodge Ram, the source said. The source said it looks like he was throwing them out the window because he knew police would be arriving. Martinez, who had been in the federal witness protection program, apparently wanted to evade capture, the source said. A video of the crime scene watched by a reporter depicts baggies that contain a brown substance strewn on the street. The drug appeared to be heroin. If it was that brown, they definitely had some heroin out there, the source said. He was rushed to Harlem Hospital following the shooting, but it couldn't be saved. You know, he confessed to 14 murders before flipping and becoming a government witness, and he spent decades behind bars, and he was released in 2015. Now, they don't know if Martinez had been released from witness protection or if he was just visiting his old stomping grounds when he was killed. You know, he was in possession of an ID with the name Abraham Rodriguez of Lewiston, Maine, when the police arrived at the scene. So this dude had a fake ID. He had dope, all kinds of shit.
He had an ID that was given to him, a different identity. So that was a legit ID, but he knew he shouldn't have never came back to that town. But like you said, it was a long time. He probably figured he can come, do his thing, kick it. Half of the motherfuckers don't know him. But man, beware, man.
But how smart is that? You get picked up. You get picked up in 90, right? For murder and whatever. You get charged with what, 35? I think they gave him. In 2015, he decided to turn state's evidence. That's how he got out. In 2015, he decided to turn state's evidence and tell on niggas he knew who was still in the game or back in the day. That's when they threw him in witness protection and let him out. So, knowing you done killed the homie, people been waiting around for decades to get at you. Okay. Knowing you done told on some niggas, you just told on some niggas what? It's 2021. What, 2015?
6 years ago.
Yeah, you just told on some niggas.
That's still fresh.
They're fresh as a motherfucker.
They're still feeling a certain kind of way.
So I know you might be feeling like, yeah, I done told on them niggas, they gone. And pop these niggas, they gone. Ain't nobody finna try to get at me, you know, on that. And so I'm gonna go back to the stomping ground.
See, that's where you wrong.
Exactly. Like
that's where you wrong, because
nigga 12 will pop your ass today.
Yeah.
The way the youngsters is. You feel me?
You know, the thing is, it seemed like that this dude was damn near a serial killer because, you know, he admitted to killing 14 people now, and he killed, you know, when he killed his childhood friend, Rich Porter, he said that Rich lied to me about something there was no reason to lie about. I gave him the opportunity to tell me the truth, not once, but twice. He didn't die, so I shot him in the head. He said after he shot Porter twice, he didn't die, so he shot him in the head. Not only did he, you know, just think them was 14 murders that they know about, right?
Right.
Ain't no telling, there might be 30, 40 more bodies out there.
But still, man, even though motherfuckers ain't looking at the big picture, the system is fucked up. You know you got a motherfucker that don't mind killing people. Once you get past 5, it ain't no turning back. So you continue to do it. Now you got a motherfucker can say, I know such and such did whoop the wham bam. And then we gonna say, fuck them 14 people you killed. Give us these motherfuckers because they bigger than you, and we'll put you in witness protection. What kind of shit is that? Yeah, and then he's sitting there for a minute, and then he get to feeling himself. Now, he find himself 6 years later on the same streets he used to walk on, throwing dope out of the car. What the fuck you doing out there selling dope?
Yeah, it's crazy because he had been back because they saying that he got out. He got out of bars in 2015 because I guess he was going to be in there forever if he didn't make that deal. He'd have still been in that motherfucker, right? And like you said, y'all don't let a psychopath. What's the difference between him and Gacy or Ted Bundy? It really ain't no difference. I think once you get past 5, ain't you considered a serial killer?
I ain't gonna say that. I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't quote me on that one.
A killer is a killer. It don't matter how many motherfuckers you killed. You just a killer.
Yeah.
Period.
Jeez, you know, and this dude right there, he killed his childhood friend because he felt slighted because he said dude told him a lie.
Yeah, what I read, it was over some. He thought my nigga was cutting his own side deals, and they asked him some shit like, you know, is you getting work or something? I don't know. I'm trying to base it on the movie, but from what I've heard, what I read was that he thought Rich was making side deals. So he asked him, and then he told him something else, so he decided to kill him, which is some fucked up shit.
Yeah, especially a nigga, that's your childhood friend, James. That's a nigga you used to draw pictures with and play with in the sandbox and shit.
But you kill your homie because he, you know, if it ain't interfering with what we got going on, why you gonna get mad at me because I go cut me a motherfucking record over here? You get me? You can't be mad about that shit.
Well, when you grow up together, just like I told y'all the last time with me and my homeboy Master Ron, and when we was introduced to the dope, I took it upon myself to say, hey, I'm finna leave the homie over here. I'm finna go get my money.
Right.
He looking at it like, this nigga really wasn't my dog, and we done did a gang of shit together. I understood where he was coming from because I did it. You know what I'm saying? So 2 homies, if you really my motherfucking friend, you're gonna apologize. You're gonna say, nigga, we can fix this. We homies. We ride or die. And I had to do that. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker lived in the garage with me. This brother, man, we did our thing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We real shit. So to kill your partner and not give a fuck, your best friend, so-called best friend, ain't that much friendship in the world. I can never think about killing my road dog. Mm-hmm. Now a homie or some other motherfucker that's on some foul shit, totally different.
Yeah,
totally
but that's
different.
what I'm saying. You know, a motherfucker you grow up with, you have a tendency, you usually know they family, they mamas, they sisters, y'all usually like family, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it was fucked up, but what's the trip deals though is how they treated this dude like he was God almost in New York. You know, he done been in all kind of rap songs, you know what I mean? Well, him, AZ, and all of them niggas, you know what I mean? They kind of like legends over there.
I mean, but you know, coming from that walks of life, you know, we did it, you know, rappers, or you've come from the street life, you know, you incorporate, you know, we've done talked about, you know, we done talked about a Freeway Rick in a couple of rap songs, or we done talked about a Honcho or a motherfucking Benzo Al, or, you know, in a couple of rap songs. So it's always been in the nature to glorify that figure of, you know, I don't want to say the Robin Hood status where you rob from motherfuckers and you give to the poor.
Yeah.
You know, that type of, always the underdog type of nigga. The nigga that come from, oh, that motherfucker just like me. You know what I'm saying? He was born right here like me. He come from Compton. That motherfucker balling, and so we've always idolized that underground hero.
Yeah, we definitely
You feel me?